This may come as a shock to many of you, but I'm not even joking. I have never in my life seen as much drama as I have in the PJ Masks fandom that shouldn't even exist. Seriously, where are these villains coming from? Before we get into all the tea, I just want to apologize for using all caps in a comment I left on the PJ Masks wiki. I had no idea it was so offensive, and I'm truly sorry to everyone that I may have offended with my enthusiasm. I hope you can all forgive me. Anyway, let's recap the most problematic people in the PJ Masks fandom. Nah, I'm just kidding. I've actually got to talk about the PJ Masks rebrand. I wasn't joking about the drama though. Don't ever speak to me about the drama. As I'm sure many of you know, in 2023, PJ Masks rebranded to become PJ Masks Power Heroes. If this is your first time hearing about it, join the club. People are absolutely flabbergasted when they find out there's a new PJ Masks. As many popular Disney Junior shows do, PJ Masks freshened up his look after being on the air for a whopping 8 years. I need you to understand how insane that is for a Disney Junior show where most shows run for like 3 seasons. The only dip in quality the show ever had was season 5, and even then the animation just kept getting better and better. I could go on for hours about it. Season 6 of PJ Masks was announced on June 18, 2021, and on June 15, 2022, the season was announced to be a new series called PJ Masks Power Heroes. The initial first season of Power Heroes ran from April 19, 2023 to April 15, 2024. Oh my gosh, it's been a solid year since the last episode. Anyway, the season kicks off with a 45-minute special where Romeo tries to harness the power of the bad asteroid that turns people evil. I know, it sounds weird, I know. The evil asteroid ends up giving all the villains upgrades and redesigns, and then turns Ivan, the new kid at school, into Ice Cub, a polar bear-themed superhero with ice powers. At the end of the special, the PJ Masks join An Yu, Newton Star, and Ice Cub to form the PJ Masks Power Heroes. Their bond activates and powers the PJ Crystal to create a new HQ in space, which for some reason is referred to as both Space Q and Power Q. I prefer Space Q because it just sounds better to me. Later in the season, 2 new heroes are introduced. The first is Bastet, a cat girl from ancient Egypt. The second is Lilyfae, a space fairy from another galaxy. Side note, Bastet and Lilyfae are both characters from the books that the show was based on. Chill out. At the very end of the season, Armadillon makes his infamous comeback after 3 years of being absent from the show. He initially wants to be part of the Power Heroes team. I mean, obviously that was like his whole shtick back when he was on the show, but later he changes his mind and decides to work alone as a sometimes ally. Good for him. Honestly, I can't believe they would invite him to join their little army after 3 seasons of rejecting him. There's also a new villain named Gloop III. Spoiler alert, he's spontaneously redeemed at the end of the season, so I doubt we'll see much more of him. 2 new locations are also introduced, a frozen wasteland named Ice World and a planet named Gloop. I was a bit skeptical of the show when it first came out because, come on, it had been PJ Masks for 8 years, and usually when shows rebrand, it is not good. However, I was pleasantly surprised. The show stayed pretty much the same for the most part, and the rebranding didn't take away any of the charm that the original show had. I have my gripes with some of the casting, but overall season 6 was leagues better than season 5, and I enjoyed pretty much every single episode as it aired. Usually I hate change, being autistic and all, but the main thing that led me to accept the changes in the new show was the fact that they honored the original show. The format of the show is pretty much the same with just a few different tweaks. One of the main differences is the new theme song, obviously. I still remember how weird it was to watch the theme song for the first time and not be able to sing along because I didn't know any of the words. I still prefer the old theme song, but the new one is not bad. I miss the old beginning with, you know, the epic like bum bum ba-dum bum bum, but I got 5 seasons of that, so I'm not complaining. The new song is in a major key now, but still echoes the original, and I absolutely love that they kept bedtime as the right time to fight crime. And I noticed recently that they changed bedtime to nighttime, which is how it should have been all along. I also love this.
Nighttime is the right time to fight crime. I still can't think of Rebrand.
This line alone is the reason I immediately accepted whatever changes were coming. Also, can we just appreciate this epic shot at the end? I feel so lucky to get to see this every episode. There's also a new transformation sequence, obviously. The cool thing about Power Heroes is that it's simultaneously a brand new show and also the same show it's always been with a few changes. I think they did a good job of emphasizing that the main three are still the main three despite the change in format. There's a whole episode where Gecko gets nostalgic for the way things used to be and misses the old days when they were a team of three.
So good to have Newton and Ice Cub on the team. Don't forget Bastet and you and Lily Faye.
You remember that all started with just Owlette, Catboy, and Gecko, right?
Sure, we did good, but now we're doing even better.
Remember when I stopped Romeo with an ice wall?
Guess the new guys are making me old news now.
Which honestly, once again, I am sold on the changes if they're gonna honor their roots like that. Reception to the show has been filled with mixed reactions to say the least. My comment section has never been able to grasp the fact that PJ Masks has ever had more than 6 characters total, which is insane to me since most shows have more than 6 characters to begin with and introduce new characters every season, but whatever. Power Heroes has been received in two polar opposite ways. On the one hand, there's an insane amount of negativity surrounding the show's changes. To be fair, it's usually people who haven't seen the show since 2017 and are criticizing the fact that there's more than 6 characters, but most people just really don't like the fact that they went overboard with the characters. Honestly, I've said it before on this channel, but I totally agree with this criticism. There are way too many characters in the show and a total lack of regularity with how often they appear. On the other hand, the rebranding brought a ton of old fans back to PJ Masks. All I really remember from the early days of Power Heroes was positivity. People loved the new characters and changes, and it really sparked a revival of the PJ Masks fandom. The show is still on hiatus as of the making of this video, but hopefully it comes back soon. In my opinion, Power Heroes was a successful revival of the brand and introduced opportunities for a lot of new material. I hope it comes back because this first season seemed super promising, and I think it could only get better from here. But after all, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think about the PJ Masks rebrand in the comments. Okay, see ya guys! I know I say this a lot, but I seriously can't thank you guys enough for all the support you've given me. There is literally nothing better than yapping about my special interest and people actually listening. You guys have all been so supportive and kind to me, even though my special interest is a bit weird and cringy, and I just appreciate it so much. I know the autistics know what I'm talking about. I could have never predicted the success of this channel, and I hope I can keep up the momentum for y'all. Oh, and by the way, Chris and I have a special project coming up. We're going to announce it in about a month, so stay tuned for that if you would like to participate. Reminder that I read all of your comments and I love hearing your thoughts, so if you have any video suggestions for me or want to know my opinion on something, feel free to send me an ask. Love you guys, bye!